Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Friday Show. My name is Mr. Miles. I'm here with Carson today, who's going to be interviewing some of our guests. This Friday Show is something that we do every Friday here for our students here at South Seminole, and we broadcast this on our Facebook page and also on the YouTube page, South Seminole News. Carson, why don't you talk to some of our guests here? Would you please introduce yourselves?
Of course, I'd be happy to. Dr. Danielle Thomas. I am the Director of Advocacy and Legislative Services for the Florida School Boards Association, and was invited here by my school board members here in Seminole County to come and see some of the fabulous things that are going on in Seminole County Public Schools.
And from what I understand, go Knights.
Charge on.
Yes. At this airing, we've lost 4 in a row, but that's fine. We're gonna recoup.
That's
this
okay.
week.
I was in Norman, Oklahoma last week. I watched that one in person.
I'm so sorry.
Yep, but you know what? Super proud of how hard the boys fought. So I was very proud to be there.
Very good. And Ms. Kraus, would you like to introduce yourself to the audience?
Well, thank you for having me, Carson. My name is Kristine Kraus, and I am the chair of the Seminole County School Board. And we are proudly touring Dr. Thomas to our fabulous schools today and couldn't help but stop here at South Seminole Academy.
We're very popular. And actually, Carson has some questions about maybe some things you've done today. But Carson, do you have some questions?
So I've heard that you visited many schools today, and I was wondering what was something interesting that you saw?
Ooh, so we just came from Stenstrom Elementary, and so I was just learning about their unique program over there, how they've basically set up like their own little like micro society over there. And so it was just really interesting to see how the students are really running their own learning. And the different roles that the teachers have in more facilitating and not like standing up and teaching in the traditional sense that we think of. So it was really, really interesting to learn about today.
They've been telling us that here for many years and getting me to do the same thing. Get it to be as student-run as possible.
Student-driven, absolutely.
It's very difficult because there's a lot of moving parts to what we're doing back here, but I've got a student directing right now and asking questions, but it's to see it student-run like that. It's fantastic to see that.
It really is. And they had us do like a little, got to be part of their news program, and so they put me at Anchor 1.
Oh, wow.
And so
we only put her in the podcast studio. She actually anchored their news. We just got one up.
I did. So that was just a lot of fun. And they know exactly like how it needs to run, what needs to happen, the order in which things need to happen. Because I just like jumped in. They're like, no, you gotta wait. I'm like, okay, I'm not very good at waiting. So yeah, it was a really great experience. Really.
Kraus, was there anything exciting you saw today, or maybe something new you hadn't seen before, or something new?
Yes. So we also toured Lake Howell High School in the NJROTC simulation program.
Yes.
And they showed us some of their drones that they can use for teaching the students about serving properties and just all kinds of other uses. And the cooperation that we have with Embry-Riddle and partnership, our students are going to be well prepared for the future. Many options.
At Lake Howell, did they let you get a chance to see the new building, which is almost complete? They have a new 2-story, it's not 3-story, it's a 2-story building that's under construction right now at Lake Howell that they will be moving into possibly in January. Is that something you guys get to see?
They're still targeting January 8th. We did not tour today just because
it's a hard hat area.
Dr. Gard Harold is like keeping us on schedule.
Yeah, you got it.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah.
Yes.
Carson, do you have any other questions for us today?
Yes. So when you were in middle school, what were some important things that you focused on?
Ooh, when I was in middle school. So I had a little bit different middle school experience than a lot of kids. I lived up north in Connecticut, and I went to a private school that was kindergarten through 8th grade.
Oh, wow.
So it was a very small school. And so I didn't have like the traditional middle school experience, like the 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. We got to like change classes, but we only went like diagonally across the hall and those types of things. So a little bit different type of experience than traditional. But one of the best parts of that was the fact that we did get a chance to spend, if we wanted to, time with kindergarten and first grade as like kind of mentors to them. We could do reading time with them and could go in and like help them with special activities and those types of things. And that was actually really when I realized that I wanted to go to school to become a teacher, which is what I did for about 14 years. So that's really kind of where I got my start in that. And so that's something that while I didn't have the traditional middle school experience that most kids have, it was one of my favorite things about my middle school experience and really did put me on the path to education, now education policy, which is what I'm doing now.
Do you recall, Ms. Kraus, things that you were doing in middle school that kind of got you to where you are today?
Actually, I do. So I grew up in Des Moines, Iowa.
Okay.
And at the time, the Vietnam conflict was going on.
Yeah.
And our high school was marching to the Des Moines Capitol, which we are one of only 2 Capitol buildings that have gold leaf as the dome, to see Governor Ray at the time. And I remember watching news programs at night with my family and just being so upset about the war, and we weren't supporting veterans when they came back home. And so the high school, we were about 6 miles from downtown Des Moines where the Capitol was. The high school was probably about 2 miles. And the middle school was actually a junior high. It was 7th, 8th, and 9th at the junior high. Anyway, the high school formed, we didn't have social media to coordinate, but they formed a poster making event. So I formed a poster making event for the junior high. Right across from our junior high was Southtown swimming pool. We made posters and we followed them and marched to the Capitol to protest the war. So that was kind of my first, and I got in trouble at school, but I did not get in trouble from my parents.
Is that still on her record?
It's probably part of my record, but we needed to fund our veterans or bring them home.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's kind of my start but my favorite thing in junior high was we had student centers on Friday nights, and they opened up the school from 6 until 9, and kids could sign up and pay a small fee, and they got pizza and a Coke, and they could play basketball or volleyball or watch a movie or play games. The school opened up to host them. So they had something fun to do on Friday nights. And it cost
awesome.
$3.
Wow.
Of course, that was 100 years ago, but it was just something fun where kids need social time. They need that time to connect and build relationships.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you, before you go to your last question, because this is a good one, it's for Ms. Kraus. A lot of our kids will be transitioning to high school next year.
Yeah.
And I was wondering if you had any advice for them. What should they be focused on as they go in and become high schoolers in 9th grade next year?
Ooh. So I would say a couple of things. I mean, first, obviously, is for them to find something that they really are interested in. High school opens you up to provide you with experiences that you probably haven't necessarily had an opportunity to have yet, right? You've got, it's a bigger campus. There's more clubs, there's more groups, there's more sports, those types of things. So definitely use that as an opportunity to explore and kind of figure out what you enjoy, what's interesting to you, and don't be afraid to give it a try. I tried out for the volleyball team like the second day of school, my freshman year of high school. I didn't make it. But a couple of months later, I tried out for the basketball team and I did make it. So, don't let that discourage you, but definitely use it as an opportunity to kind of explore different things that you haven't had a chance to. And even as you find interests, continue to explore new things, because especially as you look at your options for after high school, whether it be college, whether it be vocational, whether it be, trade, whatever it is, you want to make sure that you're pretty well-rounded and that you've had different experiences and that you can demonstrate that you're that you have interest in a variety of different places, and that you're willing to try out new things. So definitely give yourself that opportunity to do that, because high school is going to open you up to things that you had no idea were even out there, just because of just the different opportunities that it presents that you haven't had yet.
That's very good advice, because one of our feeder schools, Lake Howell, that you were at
Yeah.
today, so many clubs and organizations to be involved in over there.
Yes.
And you should, exactly what she said, take advantage of those things. Try different things. Try out for the volleyball team. Why
Absolutely.
not? Absolutely try that.
Well, and one of the things that we talked about at lunch, when we had lunch at Lake Howell, they were in the culinary academy was the one who made us lunch. And they were talking to us about opportunities for culinary, like after school and during the summer, for those kids that can't get into culinary like during the school year.
Right.
So even like, explore those different things, even to just try it out for a little bit and see. If you can't get into culinary the first time, don't get discouraged. See if there's another opportunity or another way that you can get exposed to it.
Very good. Don't get discouraged.
That's
Okay,
right.
This last question, because we know you guys are busy, you've had a long day, is for Ms. Kraus, but then maybe we can expand on it after you ask the question.
Sure.
So next month is the SCPS fundraiser, A Night of Impact. Tell us the importance of this special event.
Oh my goodness. It is such a wonderful event. It is, our foundation is the nonprofit branch for raising funds for programs that we don't have a budget for in our district. For example, we have Take Stock in Children, which provides scholarship programs for students who may never have thought they had the opportunity to go to college. They provide a 2-year paid scholarship to SSC. We have Families in Need programs. We have food pantries. It provides so many extras, the tools for Seminole schools, where teachers can shop once a month for school supplies if they're needed in their classroom. We give grants for great ideas, which your teacher could apply for a grant and say, I'm going to take all of my students that are in TV production to WESH and look in their
Field trip.
newsroom. And so they may say, okay, we approve your grant. And you can go, and they'll pay for the buses and lunch for the kids. And so it is a phenomenal chance to support our school district, and all of the funds are used very wisely. And I'm looking forward to it. It's coming up soon.
Yeah, and next, just a little over a week from now.
November 4th,
Is that a week
yes.
from Saturday?
That is, yeah.
Yes.
November 4th is a week from Saturday.
And I'm proud to say that my school gets to be a part of it. We're a part of the red carpet team that interviews folks as they come into the Westin Hotel.
Wow.
And we're looking for, and that will be broadcast live on our YouTube page.
Yes, I
Or
love
maybe
that.
your YouTube page. I can't remember, but it might be on our YouTube page as well. People can watch from home to see everybody dressed up and come in and be interviewed. But we're looking forward to the event. I know you don't have any other questions on paper. Is there anything else you want to? Any other questions you can think of?
No.
So you had a pretty busy day. You got to see a lot of
Did.
schools today.
Yes.
And we're happy that we were your final stop today.
Yeah, no, really excited.
Yes.
This is incredible.
Well, thank you very much for
I'm
visiting. Go ahead.
curious to ask you how you got involved in television production and
Oh,
podcasting.
good question.
So when I was signing up for my classes, so last year I really wanted to be a part of the news crew that we had.
In elementary school?
Yes.
Right.
And I didn't make it, sadly.
Oh.
But when I was signing up for my classes, I saw this and I was like, I've never done it before, but I decided to give it a try. And I've fallen in love with it. Mr. Miles is a great teacher.
Are we recording this? This is awesome.
Don't get discouraged, right? She didn't make it in
Right.
5th grade, but
tried
she
it.
saw another opportunity in middle school and she took it and she's running with it. Look at this.
Yeah. At first, I started with doing the audio board, but then I was like, I want to try being on screen. And every week since then, I've wanted to be on screen. And that definitely boosted my confidence. I was really glad that I signed up for this. Because if I didn't, then I wouldn't have. Probably would have never tried to do it and never really gotten into it.
Well, I'm just really glad that the fact that you didn't make it in 5th grade didn't discourage you and that you were still willing to try to sign up for it and try it now that you're in middle school. So how does it work now? Like, I mean, you're a sixth grader, right? So this is a part of your sixth grade day. So is this something to where like there's an opportunity for her to continue to do this like into seventh and eighth grade? Like, are there other level classes that this continues?
Yes, these students are allowed to retake this class if they want to. And then when we're also not doing news, we're also learning Photoshop. So we teach them Photoshop. They make graphics for the news. My assistant principal just gave me this, which means I think we're doing a great job. That means we're doing a great job.
It
I think it
does.
means actually we need to wrap it up. Because you guys have many other things to do.
Thank you
But
so much.
Thank you so much for being a
hosting
part
us.
of our Friday afternoon show, which will air on our YouTube page next Friday. I'll make sure to send the link to you so you can
Please
see this.
do.
But thank you so much. And thank you for spending time in South Seminole and all of our other schools today. We appreciate you taking the tour.
Thank you.
about
I
that.
love being back in the schools. It's been a great opportunity today.
Thank you. That's all for this show, everybody. We'll see you again next week on the Friday show.
Bye.
Bye.